Hey, everybody. Last week, Jen said I couldn't do a cold open anymore, but she's having technical difficulties. So I'm going to tell one of the jokes that I have yet to post on TikTok. On the TikTok, I have been posting like long, old jokes you may recognize, but I put a Disney World twist on them, and I've been getting all of 150 views. So I'm going to share one right now that I have yet to post on TikTok. All right. So I don't know if you heard, but Walt Disney World is getting back in the attraction sponsorship business, because Chapek, of course. So when it reopens, a certain bubblegum company is going to be sponsoring the Walt Disney World Railroad. Who's ready for the big league choo-choo? Huh?
What are you doing? Didn't we talk about this? Didn't we? You said last week, we're not going to do these bits. This is silly. You said you're supposed to start it. You go live. You hit the intro. Just do the intro. Enough. What are you doing?
Are we saying the thing, though? Can we say the things, though?
Fine.
Live streaming from New York. It's
Theme Park Thursday Live.
It's Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Dudes. Featuring Frank and Jen.
Forgot again that it goes black and I have to cross back over. This is just the third time's the charm next week, because this is only the second Theme Park Thursday Live. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank. And for the next 30 minutes, we will be here talking about some of the big news items that hit across the theme parks this past week. Now, if we have a guest on Theme Park Thursday, the podcast, usually that means we will talk about the subjects we didn't get to because we had a guest on. Well, This week on Theme Park Thursday, Jen, how would you describe this week's podcast?
A potpourri of madness.
A potpourri of madness. So, if we record on a Monday and we drop it on a Thursday when we have a guest, okay, there's going to be things that happen. But we recorded this on Monday.
Yeah.
But some of the news items tonight came before Monday, and we should have talked about them on the podcast.
Probably, yeah.
So that's where we are. We let the folks in the chat decide. Hello, folks in the chat.
Theme Park, Rob, Lewis, Dr. Val, Jeffers, Nate, Lee. Am I missing anyone? No. Okay.
So here within the top 3 topics of the week, pick one first, and we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
All right. Topic number 1, the Disney Look expansion. I would say this is the biggest topic of the week. Yeah. I'm already processing my thoughts, making sure I get them out in the proper manner. So number 2, I put a positive spin on this one.
Oh.
Welcome back, Club Cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna talk about that store also.
Okay. Sure.
And number 3, the Character Periscope. There's a lot of your favorite Disney news sites, blogs, places talked about a certain patent that went out regarding the characters, and maybe we'll get to that one as well. So that's what we got: the Disney Look, Club Cool, and the Character Periscope. I put 2 question marks on 2 of those.
What do you think? Is this okay? It's Dilloing it is what you're doing. You make headlines and you're like, should we talk about this? I don't know. Place your bets. Place your bets.
Get all your bets in. Which topic would you like to start with there? The chat talking to each other right now, getting their hellos in. I'll let them catch up. Say hello to everyone. Maybe I jumped into the topics too fast.
Sorry.
We had a lot of topics this week.
Delay today. Oh, too cool for school. The Diz Look one for the Diz Look is too cool for school for Club Cool, or is that just something you're saying, Lee? I'm not sure. Diz Look, 2 votes.
Going
lightsaber. That's not this week, Jeffers.
I mean, I can talk about my fear every time I go to Savi's website to check if there's reservations because I can't afford one right now. But where's the pre-show? That's a good question. We don't have time. There's no time.
30 minutes, Jeffers.
We got like a minute and a half for each. All right, let's go to the Disney look because I know that this is the big topic for the week. So let me bring that banner up. The expansion of the Disney look. I'm going to an Orlando Sentinel article from April the 13th. Walt Disney World workers soon may look different thanks to changes in the Disney look. The company's long-standing appearance guide. Visitors may see tattoos, fingernail polish, and newly allowed hairstyles for the first time in Disney parks. So the quote from Josh D'Amaro, who many of us look to as the hope, because you got Bob Chapek buying his evil lair in California this week. He bought like a whole complex or something like that. So we look to Josh as our beacon of light and hope. And here's the quote. We want our cast members and future cast members to feel a sense of belonging at work. That means cultivating an environment where all people feel welcomed and appreciated for their unique life experiences, perspectives, and culture. Details and parameters are to be shared with workers. For instance, visible, appropriate tattoos will be limited in size and must be below the neck. Going forward, 2 earrings will now be allowed in 1 ear, although the size of the hoops will be restricted. And that includes, he said, greater flexibility with jewelry, nail styles, and gender-inclusive hairstyles. Okay. That's where we are. What do we think? What do we know?
Sure. Well, Nate has a question. What tattoos are the Dillos siblings getting now that the guide has changed? You want to go first?
I mean, I think this is, again, I'm going to tiptoe around because I tried to reserve my judgments, but there is I don't know why it exists, but I have a certain judgment about tattoos and I wish I could shake it. But
overall?
Just overall in general, I have no tattoos. I would never get a tattoo, most likely. I think I've debated it once or twice briefly, in a very small thing, but overall, and again, it's my own neuroses. It's my own psychoses that I feel a certain way about tattoos. So again, I'm going to preface everything in this conversation with, I think this is awesome. I think this is an appropriate step forward. I think this is great. I think you want to have a happy work environment and you need to open these doors. So no tattoos from me. And we'll go from there. Jen, tattoos for you.
I mean, do we get don't Dillo it?
Don't, instead of just do it, don't Dillo it.
Right, like on your foot, somewhere random.
Do we need a merch with a little swoosh of some kind that says "Don't Dillo it"?
That's probably the T-shirt because we have that on the list, the "Don't Dillo it" T-shirt. So that's probably it. It's with a swoosh. Is that allowed? Is that a
well, not the swoosh, a swoosh.
A similar swoosh,
like a pixie dust flourish.
Right. So that maybe that would be mine. I'm not sure. Hi, Steppers. Welcome. So I am excited about this. I think, as Theme Park Rob said, long overdue for a lot of this. As someone who had 2 piercings in her ear while working at Epcot, I would often forget that I wasn't allowed to have a second one, or, I would think I have to do clear nail polish. And maybe that's why I do clear nail polish more than any other nail polish now. Nope, I think that's my kids. But, so I think little changes like that, these are all silly little things. Of course, this makes sense. Why not? And especially tattoos, and it's just part of people. And most of these costumes are not showing off anything good about you because the costumes are normally pretty interesting. So it's whatever, just let people do it. Go ahead.
No, I don't know. You keep going. No, I mean, I think again, I feel my middle age here because again, I work, with teams, and I want, everyone. The inclusion is super important. I'm so happy that it's becoming the 5th key. But there is this old school back of my head mentality that, as someone who probably didn't get hired at the Disney store because he came to the interview with some kind of beard that said he would shave, there is, and I don't think I was like, no, I'm going to keep my beard. So there's also that. But I
Right.
know when they said, oh, now you can have facial hair, I was like, what?
Right.
And I wanted facial hair when I worked at Disney. But there's very much a the clean cut look, if I want to try to classify it, I think is a thing. I mean, again, I feel like I don't want to say anything wrong because so there's a part of me that
you're just old, and that part of you is.
But there's part of me that absolutely I want this to be the way.
Yeah.
But there is a part of me that the change is because, I felt like that was a part, again, I can't, I feel myself like, no, this is not what you really think. This is just something that was,
ingrained
in me. Right. Exactly. So that's really where I am.
Awkward. Steffers is getting one, and now you've just said that she's, making a bad decision. I think that's what you said. No, I'm just kidding. Steffers, excellent date. The 6-year-old will be turning 7 on that day, and I will have some anxiety that day. So cool.
I will say, Lewis had a great point up here. Now, can I pull it up somewhere? Is that they were always called cast members, and I think that should be included here, but. Again, they were always called cast members, but they had these restrictions. Yeah. So now that it's opening up, I think it's again a good reminder to move forward with the cast members. Yeah, if my hair, I cut my hair when I started working at Disney because I got my hair because I had really long, crazy hair.
Hugh Grant hair.
My Hugh Grant hair for a while, and I know that when that first summer. After about 8 months, and the hair was starting to creep in, I was like, I don't want to get a haircut. So, I wore a baseball hat everywhere and kept the hat hid under my hat all day. So, most of the time people didn't really see what I looked like on set. So it was easy just to walk to lunch with a baseball hat.
Right. And then I think the overall inclusivity that is happening. I'm sorry, Negative Nancy's on Twitter. It's a good thing. Can y'all stop? What is wrong with the world? I'm sorry. What is wrong with everybody? I can't because I'll say things I shouldn't be saying.
Right. For a variety of reasons, especially during the past 13 months here, that any way that we're able to make the work environment more comfortable is to everyone's benefit. It makes happier workers. It makes happier guests. And that's, people need to be able to show who they are.
Right. And that's okay. And let me not. I'm gonna step up. I'm not even gonna step up to the soapbox. I'm gonna just stay here.
Yeah, no, I mean and there's definitely lines, there's lines. And so I'm more curious to see what tattoos are. Are we gonna see little Mickey tattoos, or are we gonna see I'm curious to see what the line of appropriate, as it's worded there, appropriate tattoos will be. Yeah. But I felt the same way when they started implementing the facial hair. I was like, this is ridiculous. And I was like, is it jealousy that I didn't get to have my facial hair?
Yes. The answer is your own issues for 500.
It's my own.
No, but we are excited. Overall, the bottom line to this one, we're excited. This is a good thing. This is a positive thing. And, we are big on nostalgia. We are big on things not changing, but we have been in favor of certain changes. And this is one of them. And because it's a positive thing, you can't, there is nostalgia and holding on to the feels and doing all of that. But there's also the world and growing and evolving and keeping up with the times, and just you got to do that too. There's got to be that balance where you don't make us upset with getting rid of the Polynesian steps or something, but you got to keep up with the times.
Well, right. And I mean, talking about me, right, in the 80s and what a cast member, how they were dressed, and even before I worked there, that was that association, if I use my associative brain, was, the 1950s Mickey Mouse Club had clean cut, all American kind of thing. And I'm like, now, and so that's a 30-year gap, right? So now if you look at the 30-year gap to the 90s, I feel like the association should be the styles, whether we're talking grunge, whether we're talking, metal, whether we're talking new wave, like those were the style, starting to see goth, those were the styles that started coming 30 years ago. So I also look at it as that. So if you're worried about your kids, see, like, seeing, come on, it's your time, your styles. Those were the styles of your childhood. So that's what you should be connecting to. Just as my style can connect the Disney cast members to the 50s, maybe we should thinking about what your childhood was. Think about all those all new Mickey Mouse Club styles.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, the hairstyles, Chase's hair, that's what I would associate with. Yeah.
This is a good point, Theme Park Rob. I also want to expand on it and say, I'm sure if this news didn't even come out and they just did it and there was no social media to talk about it, no one would care because you're still going to Disney and you're getting the same thing. You would maybe have one or two people like, oh, wait a second, I didn't think this was allowed at Disney. But overall, you wouldn't see the outcrying that we have now, which is just a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think that they didn't have to say it, but they did say, just kind of how we talked about the mask restrictions being alleviated a little bit last week.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Could they have just gone on without saying yes? But should they be going like, hey, we're acknowledging this happens and hoping that it sets a good example, right? Going, okay, we may have heard your complaints about not being able to wear a mask when you take a picture outdoors. Now we're empowering you to please stick to our rules while we alleviate some of these. In this case, it's, it's not going to affect your enjoyment of park. We need our cast members to be happier by being more of themselves as it relates to working in our parks. I think that's important.
Yep, agreed. Hi, Tombstone Josh. Welcome in.
Hello, Tombstone Josh. All right, let's move. We, of course, take all of the topics and the podcast this week. After 8:30, we go over to our Patreon. If you're a Patreon on all levels this month, you get access to our post show. And we chit chat a little more there, beginning at 8:30. So we're up to number 2 here, and welcome back, Club Cool. Here it is from the Disney Parks blog last week. This summer will mark another big step when we unveil the new flagship merchandise location called Creation Shop. Creation Shop features a bold, sleek design that creates a perfect showcase for the rich variety of items you'll find as part of your Epcot experience. It will be an open, bright, welcoming environment with huge glass walls that will allow sunlight to pour in and make you feel like you're in touch with nature even while indoors. We are using color, materials, and light in new ways with some unique Epcot touches that connect back to this park's storied past while looking to the future. Jen? So let's set the foundation here. I have always been Team Centurium, but never really had a problem with Mouse Gear because it probably was a better merchandise shop when all was said and done. I liked Centurium because it was connected to Emporium, but when they became Mouse Gear, it seemed like a way better merchandise location. Jen, you're Team Mouse Gear all the way, correct?
Yeah. I think so. And I was sad when I was worried about it. I don't understand sometimes when things like this, which is a retail location. Why do you have to change the name? Why? Just leave it. You're not adding an IP to it. Just leave it. I don't know. Whatever. But
I can't with the sleek. I can't.
I know you don't enjoy the sleek.
Who enjoys the sleek? Whom? I want to know. If you enjoy the sleek, let me know.
Will they pre-sticky the floor? I mean, this is a good point too. And I don't know if everyone saw the question on drinks and fun love chair. Yes. Well, yes. You know what, Dr. Val? Yeah. That's how we feel. Exactly. To a T. And so I am excited about Beverly coming back. Frank will now have to drink it every single trip he goes on. So that's exciting. He also asked, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, what do I prefer more, the sticky floors or the fumes?
Of
That was the
Tomorrowland
two
Speedway.
things. Right.
Mhm.
I mean, that's not even a question, obviously, the fumes.
Do you feel a little differently about the fumes?
I don't know. It's debatable. But those sticky floors, they were pretty gross, but it was part of the charm of the place, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder again. I guess the phrase of this half hour here is associative brain. But I wonder if people will start to associate the sticky floor with like it's not clean in here. Like the favorite things about cleaning protocols and disinfectants and everything else. And if that floor is what it was, and you walk through those tarps and those tarps hit you in the face, you're not doing that anymore. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Central Park Zoo, if you're watching, can you get rid of those tarps right now, please?
Oh, are they still up there in the penguin area?
Up during this? No.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, none of that can stay. But they got rid of those tarps. They just did the doors.
Oh, the doors after a while.
Yeah.
I forgot they had the doors after that.
Beverly equals Alka-Seltzer. Interesting.
It is an aperitif. It's good for your stomach, supposedly, but
it tastes like Bronticon.
I mean, anytime to get like free drinks is, I don't
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's always been
a good spot. It's air conditioned. You get some drinks. It's good. It's good.
You want to talk about this shop a little bit more, or no? You're good.
I'm fine with it.
You're fine?
I'm not fine with it, but it is like what
a generic name with a sleek look, and I think that's an issue. I'm not really sure what it has to do with the retheming they want to do in Future World. I think that's where I am with it right now.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right.
And right. And so we will. Third topic. Well, briefly, I guess the Character Periscope. I'm not really sure which news source of all the Disney blogs and all the news sites out there who I don't know who to give credit to here. But a lot of them picked up on there was a patent that Disney was looking for about a character periscope that would essentially assist with the poor visibility that some of your favorite lovable, huggable characters have. Now, I'm not going to go that much into it because, we like to preserve the magic when it comes to certain work that I may have. Not that I don't drop things from time to time, as if maybe I
like on this podcast,
like on this week's podcast, that may suggest I was a little closer to these characters than I have let on. But the poor visibility is par for the course. I'm not sure implementing whether it's a periscope, some kind of video monitoring system, whatever it is, it's at the end of, personally, if you're to tell me that that's the new system, I'd be like, nope, I'm going to use my own eyes. I trust my own eyes more than I trust trying to gauge technology. And it's like, I'm never getting in a car that's going to drive itself. Get out of here.
Oh, I know. I'm the same way.
No. But no, the poor visibility is par for the course. And I think, again, the thing to maybe talk about is tread lightly. A lot of these characters have been dealing with just cues for a very long time. So if you're not going to, I think we're talking about it now because you're seeing them roam free again. So I think there now has to be perhaps a communication session, a training, if you will, in working with the poor visibility.
Right.
Because they've just been used to, come on over, take a picture. Okay, here's your memory maker. Take a picture, autograph, you're out. Next person, go, do, out. And I'm not suggesting that the characters are doing a poor job. They're doing a great job. This is the circumstances. This is how the meet and greet works these days. But you talk about your dining, walk around to the tables. If that's going to come back, then we can have a conversation about. But you work with the poor visibility is really, I think, my point overall. Right. And there's ways around it.
So I'm a little confused, and as we, oh, this is a good question.
Yeah,
Do you?
sometimes.
I trust it probably too much. I like if I get in a car that doesn't have one, I'm like, well, man. Like I trust it a lot for parallel parking. I had a fantastic parallel parking score on my driving test back in the day.
Failed it twice.
You did.
I failed it twice.
And I like one shot, boom, boom. Now I'm like, oh God, I got to parallel park. Oh my God, thank God for my backup camera, or else I would never be able to do this. I would have too many points for, when you overcorrect and do all those things. Anyway, a follow-up question. Do you trust like putting your car on autopilot?
Cruise control?
Cruise control.
No, I just had a coworker today mention cruise control, and I was like, you know what? I've never.
This is a Dillo issue.
A little bit when I lived in Orlando, because you could just fly down the East-West and put it on, but that was never in New York, never here.
Like,
but I did it a little bit.
Upstate, you don't do it driving upstate.
No.
Yeah. See, Mr. Stidillo will do it. And I'm like, can you just put your foot closer to the pedal just in case?
But he's from Florida, so that's he's used to it. I think it's a thing. Figure when you grew up on wider lanes and less traffic.
Yeah.
Ish. He wasn't from Central Florida.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so let me get back off of our tangent here. I have a question, and I'm going to try to phrase it as best I can, maybe with preserving the magic. If there's a periscope, are characters growing in size in any way in order to adapt to the periscope, or are they having to take this on as is, which seems like a bad idea? Well,
I think a lot of the conversation not even really has to do with the poor visibility, because I think you're still restricting visibility if you're looking through a mirror instead of being able to move your whole body. I don't know. I have a lot of questions, but I think a lot of it, not so much with the visibility, but with the eye line of the character. And whether or not the character is actually looking out of their eyes when they're signing an autograph book and things like that.
Right. Can you brief it quickly for Steffers?
I mean, a periscope, like, if you're on a submarine and you're looking through, then you're able to above the water see more around you by turning your head. It gives you a wider scope of your surroundings. So ideally, maybe where your eye line is, if whatever was above you, let's say, like as if you had a second set of eyes.
Right.
Then you'd be able to monitor what the character, if it was the character we were talking about here, with the characters are real, was looking through their eyes. Right.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. It's just the mechanics behind it is what I really want to know about. James and Josh, I love these sum ups here. Cast member change, cool. Epcot name change, stinks. Exactly.
That's where we are.
That's where we are.
So here's the deal. We're the quickest half hour in the business here. And we are about to take our post show over to our Patreon page at dillosdizresort.com or patreon.com/dillosdiz. Of course, you can follow all of us at all two of us.
All of us.
And like Papa Dillo's not tweeting. Just be quick. At dillosdiz on Twitter, on the Instas, and on TikTok. But of course, Dillo's Diz Resort, your escape to nostalgia, or your virtual destination for exclusive Dillo's Diz content. Thanks so much for talking us up about these topics this week. We'll be back here again next Thursday at 8 p.m. Next Wednesday, we'll be over here on the live stream as well for a little Dillo's sibling reunion with Angela Dahlgren, which you can also check out on her page there. I think the Grays area will precede the Dillo's sibling reunion next week. So make sure you check out her YouTube page for that. And of course, Jen's on the Magical Mommy Monday podcast over there. So we'll plug all the things coming up for next week. Theme Park Thursday Live, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you over on the Patreon, dillosdizresort.com. Until that time, she's Jen, and she's Jen. I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Kisses.
End the broadcast.